Who here in the audience is ready to go? And let's give a nice round of applause for Guild Mortgage for putting this on and hosting. Yep, round of applause. Come on. Okay, yes, thank you. I can see Melissa's using the chat functionality. So here's how I want to start off. I'm going to actually obviously share my screen, bring up my slides. Give me just a minute here. We're going to stop the other screen sharing. You guys are going to keep me honest. Confirm in just a second that you can indeed see my screen. You see the slide, how to dominate digital with personal branding. Yes? Okay, cool. Awesome. Now, here's how, the first thing I do out of the gate on all these Zoom meetings, because I've been doing a lot of Zoom meetings since COVID-19. I'm sure you guys have been on a lot as well. So we appreciate you being here. We're going to get into it fast and furious. But first and foremost, because we do have such a large group, the only way we can communicate is with everybody on mute using your chat functionality. So start off by using your chat to tell me what is one thing you're grateful for today. Let's set the tone. What's one thing today you just want to show up and you just want to be in this place of being grateful? What is it for you? Go ahead and put in your answers now. I'm going to see what we got here. You know, Katie Shive, by the way, you're welcome to be my Vanna White, if you will, right? Assist me with the chat and just read a couple of responses, or because I'm going to have a very interactive session, people. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to want you to respond. So that's why, Katie, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so Brenda is thankful that she gets to do what she loves every single day. Jeannie Moline is thankful for her business partners at Guild. We love you, Jeannie. Challenges, opportunity, family, ability to work from home, flexible schedule, friends. Man, I love this.
All right. That's a lot to be grateful for. I'm grateful for that you guys showed up today. So thank you very much for that. And also, I want to let you know that I'd highly encourage you to attend the rest of the sessions today. I personally know all the fellow speakers today, have personally interviewed all of them. And I'm going to be attending to just hear what they have to say as well, because it's a wealth of knowledge here. And so the team, the group that was assembled to present information to you guys here today, it is top notch. So be sure that you stick around for that. Okay, so let me get started with slides. It's always the first slide. You guys already heard about me, so we don't have to go on and on about that. Just know that I've been in this industry since 2003. One of the things that I love to do is get to the truth. My moniker over my podcast is Chief Truth Teller. And so this book that you see on the screen right here now is a result of seeking the truth about how agents and mortgage professionals are surviving and thriving the digital real estate shift. Good news for you. You participate today, you do well. When you hear this noise,
congratulations, you are the winner.
You could be a lucky book winner. So if you participate and you answer questions and you chime in and you just be here full on 100%, like I'm giving 100%, I'm going to pick a couple people at random and we're going to give away a free book. There it is. Now, if you don't win a free book today, hey, feel free to get over to getdisruptordie.com and that will give you a link to get the book. Okay, enough of that said. Let's get started, people. Okay, first and foremost, this is for you if you want a simple, proven system for increasing your influence, building trust, and growing your business. So if that's what you want to get out of here today, you've showed up, you came to the right place. And thank you once again for showing up. So this is for you if you're looking for that, if you want those things, and if you're willing to put in the work. Because creating a personal brand that attracts your ideal audience, that delivers to you a systematic flow of people and leads and obviously money, ultimately transactions, that doesn't happen automatically. That takes some thought, some consideration, some planning, some time, and good old-fashioned, right here, elbow grease, okay? So let's first of all talk about the difference between personal brand versus personal branding. First of all, let me ask you guys a question. Here's participation. Who here already has a personal brand? Let's see. Who's got a personal brand? Just type in yes. You can type in what it is, who you are, who you serve, what you're all about. But who here's got a personal brand right now? I'd like to know. Type it in. Let's see what we got. A little more Jeopardy, because who doesn't like a Jeopardy theme, right? I mean, come on. All right, so let's.
We have Katie, the Nevada real estate lady. Hester is working on it. Ranch real estate, the Cutler team.
Got it.
She says, I think I do. Property team. So.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you everybody for sharing. And let's do this. Katie, next time for the next participation, now that people get how to play the game, let's pick one person to win a book, okay? All right. So thank you for your responses. I'm seeing, usually these are the answers I see, which is the XYZ team, what else? Ranch real estate. I think I do. Here's what I'm here to tell you. You all already have a personal brand. You already do, whether you know it or not. You know why? Because it's what you do every single day. It's what you don't do every single day. It's how you show up in your local community. It's how you show up with your clients, with your affiliates, with your referral partners. You are creating your personal brand every day, whether you realize it or not. I think the difference is are you intentional about it? Have you taken control and possession and gotten clarity? So let's talk about the difference between personal brand versus personal branding, because you already have a personal brand. And here's the key. Your personal brand is what other people are saying about you and who they tell about you. So it's already happening, right? That is what a personal brand is what other people say about you and who they tell about you, what it's like to work with you, engage with you, who you are as a person, both online and off. This is how a personal brand is built, largely by what other people say. Okay? So let's start with the question. Do people trust realtors? Yes or no? And I'm not going to play the Jeopardy music for this one, but just type it in. Do people trust realtors? Yes or no? In general, if we took a survey, and Katie, I'm going to grab this one. If we took a survey, what do we see? We see no, 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 no. One yes, another yes, depends, yes, yes. In general, no. Okay. All relevant, good answers. Here's a survey that asked people, how would you rate the honesty and ethical standards of people in different fields from very high, average, low, or very low? Look at where real estate agents rank. 54% of them said average. 25% said very high. All right, yeah. But 20% said very low. So based on your answers, we know that there's already a brand perception issue, if you will, with real estate agents as a whole, okay? Now, why does that happen? Well, it happens for a variety of different reasons. You all know it happens because there's really only 3 bad agents that exist in the entire country. The problem is those 3 agents move around a hell of a lot, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's what's working against you. Have you guys seen this Facebook post? This was a post, a real post on Facebook that said, this crazy realtor set a home on fire after the homeowner decides not to sell. You guys seen that? So look at the engagement this Facebook post got, okay? 4.2 million views, and this is back when this snapshot was taken, okay? Over 33,000 shares, 7,800 likes, and over 8,000 comments. How's your Facebook post doing? So the question is this real, this post? Did this really happen? It's one of those 3 crazy realtors, right, that moved around a lot. So the reality is, as Jackie says, no, this isn't a real post. This is fake news. But do things like this work negatively against you in the brand perception? Yes. Because people don't necessarily pause long enough, right? It's just one of those little deposits in the memory bank, in the emotional kind of, feelings that people have about, could be real estate agents. This could be a post about attorney. It could be about car sale. It doesn't matter. There are things that are influencing the brand perception of your profession out there, okay? So why does a personal brand matter? Well, let's talk about that. Because without a personal brand, what are you left with? You're left with marketing the same thing everybody else has. And when you do that, guess what you look like? Everybody else. And who here wants to look like everybody else? Like nobody. You're all unique individuals that have unique personalities and capabilities and skills that we should celebrate and bring to the surface. But more importantly, is people want to work with somebody who's unique, because same is lame, right? And if you are perceived to be the same as everyone else, if it's the lineup of realtors and wherever your market, Reno, Tahoe, wherever you're at, if it's the lineup and everybody looks the same, and I can't pick you out from a crowd, if you're going to be marketing the same things everybody else has, what am I automatically going to ask you to do? What automatically gets affected by the client? They start asking for you to do what? Reduce your commission. How many, we've heard this over the years. Really? 6%? Really? Right? 5%? Really? Right? You guys know what I'm talking about, don't you? Because if there's no differentiation, then there can be no value attached to that, no uniqueness. Then if it becomes a, quote, commodity, well, commodities get devalued over time, right? And commodities, people want to pay less for commodities. I mean, who wants to pay top dollar for toilet paper, right? Maybe where there's a run on it and you can't get it at the store. All right, that might be one time you want to go ahead and pay more, right? So a personal brand is what other people say about you. Personal branding is what you say about yourself. And this is the opportunity for you to control the narrative, for you to set the tone, to set the personal identity for you in your local market. Because if you aren't doing it, as we saw with the Facebook post, someone else is. And do you really want to leave your personal brand identity, who you are, what you're about, the value you give, right? The heart that you have for do you want to leave that to someone else? I don't think so, right? So what is the desired outcome then of building a personal brand? I will tell you it is this: to have the reputation, the authority, and presence, we're going to come back to that, to connect with people, build trust and relationships that lead to business. Whew, that's a mouthful, right? But I think that's one of the best, most succinct outcomes of, like, this whole thing about personal brand. I've heard it 1,000 times. It's kind of like blah, 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 personal brand. What does that really mean? I need a friggin' transaction, right? Hey, listen, I get it. Okay. But you're being assessed, right? You are being judged by your, quote, personal brand, by the perception you have in your local market, by what other people say, and by how you are showing up. But how many of you would agree that the words I've highlighted in red, this is what we must establish as a mortgage or real estate professional? Is we need to have a reputation. We're going to talk about that. We need to have some level of authority, presence. We need to obviously connect with people, create trust, because all of that leads to business. That's what it's all about. And you're going to hear from myself and other speakers today on different ways and means to do that, right? So I'm going to kind of set it up and kick off today with the big picture, the 30,000 foot view, right? Why else is a personal brand important? Because when you create a personal brand, you will stand out. You will lead and you'll develop fans. One of the biggest reasons why people don't succeed at building a personal brand is because there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of mixed messaging. There's a lot of, let's face it, social media, super crowded, super noisy, super busy. How do you stand out? How do you rise above the noise? I'm going to help you with that today. Okay. And ultimately, a personal brand will help you create clarity for why someone should choose you. That's what it's about, right? It's choose me. You guys do a great job for your clients. You just need to let enough people know that. Now, what are the number one things that consumers look for in a real estate agent? Well, this is a survey from Google and NAR, right? And according to the survey, 50% of people are looking for trust. That's why I showed you that survey before, right? That's why I led with that. They're also looking for experience, a certain amount of authority, right? We talked about that. So the theme is you are selling trust first and foremost. Now, this is a survey from the 2020 NAR Home Buyer and Seller Generational Trends Report. If you haven't read that, write it down. Get with your local loan officer. They'll give you a copy of it because I know they're going to Google it after today's session and download it like I did. Okay. So this is what people said, right? And this is from, I think, March of 2020. Very recent. All buyers, almost 100%, want honesty and integrity. And then we can see how it differs a little bit, right? Based on age group, right? The millennials, I don't need that much trust. It's down 1%. But bottom line is the number one thing is trust. And then knowledge of the purchase process, authority, right? Responsiveness, knowledge of the real estate market, communication skills, negotiation skills, people skills, knowledge of local area, and skills with tech. So if you've ever wondered like, hey, what do I post on social media? What do I say? Start thinking about content that helps demonstrate your capabilities in these categories. Knowledge of the purchase process. Do you think you could publish a few videos on that? Right? Responsiveness, obviously, that's on you. Speed to lead. We know that. You'll probably hear a little bit from Travis Tom on that a little bit later. But anyway, you're going to have these slides, by the way, your first bonus of today. Let's give a round of applause to Guild for making a copy of these slides available to you. Who wants a copy of the slides so you don't have to write all this down? Yes, get with the loan officer who invited you, and they're going to give you a link to be able to download these slides. How is that for awesome? Okay. You guys liking this so far? Let me check in. Check in. Who's liking it, Katie? We got some people saying yes? Awesome. Thanks, Janine. Katie.
We're loving it. We're loving
right.
it. It's awesome.
Just help my self-esteem there a little bit. That's why I need that, okay? So let's now talk about how do you build trust, seeing as we've all agreed that that's the number one thing our brand should establish is trust, okay? Let's unpack this a bit. Step one, become known. You've simply got to become known. And it's funny because I've been working with real estate agents really since like the 2000s. And I was doing one of these classes the other day and I was asking the question, hey, why don't you get on video? Or what is the biggest excuses why you don't get on video or on social media? And one person, I understand we don't like how we look and all that kind of stuff. And I'm here to tell you, hey, that's how you look. Okay. But the one answer that I got from somebody was, I'm shy. And I was like, time out. You're shy. You're a real estate agent. Your job requires you to be in front of people, both online and off. And my heart went out to that person, but the reality is, if you're shy, you're in the wrong business. Okay? Accountants are shy. And shy realtors have kids with skinny legs. Okay? Because they don't eat much. This is what if you get the joke. Okay, so how do you become known? Let's unpack this. We use today's communication tools. The number one skill we need to have today as modern real estate professionals is we need to be excellent communicators leveraging today's communication tools. In this book, Disrupt or Die, that's what I'm talking about here. We've got to adapt. We've got to learn new skills because the world has changed. COVID-19, how many of you agree? COVID-19 accelerated the rate of technological adoption and expectation from consumers. Virtual tours, Zoom meetings, remote buyer consults. Question is, are you adapting? Are you pivoting? Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit. How many of you, since your real estate career began, maybe in the last 6 or 12 months, have said to yourself, you know what, I really should get on video. I really should be more active on social media. I really should be better at past database, client, CRM. How many of you said that to yourselves, right? I should. Yes, thank you for raising your hands. You know what happens is you do that, you wind up you should all over yourselves, okay? Yes, thank you. I know. All right, so that's my joke for the day. Person laughing the most wins. No, but seriously. Why you need to become known is you need to show up, and not once, but show up repeatedly. Great quote from Seth Godin, frequency leads to awareness. Number one game for us. Awareness leads to familiarity, and familiarity to trust. And trust, almost without exception, leads to profit. Trust is the place people need to be at before they can say, yes, I choose you. So, quiz time. Get ready. Which is more important as a real estate agent? Reaching a lot of people, or getting great results for your clients? Put in your answers now. All right. What are you seeing, Katie?
Both, reach, both.
Results. I'm seeing a lot of results, actually. It's the dominant one here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take this out a bit further. Who is this? Y'all know who that is, right? Michael Phelps. You know who he is instantly. He's got massive reach, right? And great results. And also great abs. But he's the most decorated male Olympian swimmer of all time. We all know Michael Phelps. Great results, great reach. Who's this? Nobody knows. Her name is Jenny Thompson. She is the most decorated female swimmer of all time. She competed in, I believe, 4 Olympics, 8 gold medals. If I remember, I can't remember the exact number, but bottom line, she won a hell of a lot of gold medals, right? She got incredible results, 0 reach. What's the moral of the story? Are you a secret agent? Do you get great results, but nobody knows? Because it doesn't matter, right? You get great results. Shh, don't tell anybody. I'm shy. Guys, can't be the game today, okay? Here's the formula. Reach times frequency times results equals reputation. And your reputation equals trust. That is the currency today online, is reputation. What is your reputation and how many people know of it? See, depending on your age group, like me, I just celebrated my 55th birthday. Yeah! And I know that for some, in a certain age demographic, it feels self-promotional to quote, talk about yourself. And I've gone through that stuff myself as well. There's a bit of the imposter syndrome. Who are you to write a book? Who are you to put out a video? You know, all that kind of, and I'm telling you, that's not this class, but you better work through that, right? And you better accept and embrace the fact that you yourself, your own unique person of who you are, have value to bring to people in the world. And I'm here to tell you to embrace it, celebrate it, and people need it. They need you. So if you're shy, get over it, get out there, because somebody out there needs you. You're not for everybody, right? But you're right for somebody. And more people need to know that you exist and you do get great results. You're going to hear from the other speakers today about how you do reach more people. Okay? So here's the thing. You want to make more money? You want to have a better career, right? You want to do all these things. You have these goals and stuff. It's not lack of sales. That's your problem. It's lack of reputation. Okay? Because reputation precedes sales. So that was step 1, become known. Step 2, solve problems. This is the results side of things that we're going to now get into. Okay? What problems do you solve for people? To what question are you the answer? Because people buy and sell real estate usually because there's a change. Sometimes that change is a problem. Sometimes that change is an opportunity, right? The upside, the buying the big house or the big move or the dream house or whatever. That's not always the case. And by the way, there's always problems inherent within that anyways. Okay? So what problem do you solve? And you know, if we had more time, we would take you through a specific exercise where we get it down to kind of like one word, one phrase, right? Think about all the problems or reasons why, and we'll talk about opportunity side in a minute, but what are the challenges oftentimes that people are dealing with when they have to buy or sell, right? Job change. God, first-time home buyers. I don't know. I'm not really confident. Can I buy a house, right? You know, I'm relocating to a new area. I'm going through a divorce. I don't have the knowledge I need to make a good information, right? I need a bigger house. I need to downsize, right? There's some confusion, some doubt, some fear. I don't know. But you as a real estate agent, you don't sell homes. You sell solutions to problems. And that's what people buy, right? And sell the problem as much as the solution. Because that's what people are looking for. The old joke, right, is like, hey, when people buy a drill, they're not looking for a drill, but they're looking for holes, right? That's why you buy a drill. So why are people buying or selling? What is it? Be the person who solves that for them. You guys with me on this? Here's an example of a little company. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're called Zillow. I think they're kind of creeping up, right? And when COVID-19 hit, this is the problem they solved. They put this on their website that said, hey, during COVID-19, we're going to keep you informed on how to handle buying, selling, and renting. And look at these questions right here for buying. Is it possible to buy right now? Can I tour a house? Selling, can I still sell my house during COVID-19? Can I show my house for... Do you think people had these questions during COVID-19? You know they did. Some of you probably got calls on it. Some of you, who here had active listings and transactions that happened in the thick of COVID-19? I want to know who did that. Brenda did. Brenda, ladies and gentlemen.
Congratulations. You are the winner.
Whoa!
I feel good.
Brenda, you are the first lucky winner of our Disrupt or Die book today. So, Katie, make sure I get Brenda's mailing address and we can send you off a book. Thank you, Brenda. Congratulations on having that transaction. So I'm just trying to illustrate now for you problems. And it's funny because selling real estate agents are like, problems? What? No, I get people into their dream homes, you know? Okay, really? It's not just about that. Because I can tell you, having bought and sold homes and moving out here in Vegas from Orange County, California, there were some problems, right? Looking at homes, finding the right home, making the right choice, negotiating on price and terms, and those are problems. But you just want to focus on the beautiful house. Okay, so number one, what problem do you solve? Number two, what are you passionate about? Why are you in this business? What are you passionate about? Is it people? Is it property? Okay. These are things that you could be passionate about. It could be a specific area. You live in beautiful Tahoe. Oh my gosh, I'm passionate about Tahoe. I want to move there right now. Who's ready to sell me a house? Come on, let's go. So you could be passionate about the area, the property types. You could be passionate, obviously, about people, certain types of people, first-time buyers, people going through divorce and those challenges, empty nesters, multi-generational, right? There's a myriad of things, people, issues related to real estate that you probably have a passion for. And maybe you just need to bring it to the surface, because here's the thing. Who makes more money? Think about this in the context of a doctor or physician. Who makes more money? Generalists or specialists? Katie, what are we seeing? Generalists or specialists? You
are seeing specialists.
Specialists. Obvious answer. Just wanted to hear from Katie. Specialists make more. See, if you're trying, and listen, all the time when I ask this personal branding, like, hey, I sell real estate. Okay, remember, same as lame, you and 10,000 other agents in your board of realtors, all right? If you are for everybody, you're for nobody. Because everybody thinks they have unique, very special needs. And I get it, not everybody does, but that's what they think, right? And some people actually do. So for you to actually articulate those and point that out as this is what you're passionate about. These are the problems you help solve for first-time buyers, divorced people, et cetera, et cetera. That's going to resonate with them, because that's going to say, hey, that's me, right? Here's an example that was posted during the COVID-19 thing right here. I know it might be hard to see, my apologies, but anyway, it's a Facebook post about a virtual home buying seminar. You don't have to leave your couch. Somebody's solving a problem here, because people that are serious about buying or selling, they're active in the market no matter what. So this real estate brokerage is showing, look at these problems right here. 5 things you don't know about home buying. When is the right time to buy? Find out how to stop paying rent. 4 criteria points, the state of the COVID-19 market address, yada, 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 yada. Anyway, what they decided to do is adapt and say, hey, you know what? People have a problem. They can't go look at tours. We can't go meet face-to-face. Let's bring it to them online. That's another example. Here's an example of somebody you might be passionate about. Chris Spivey with RE/MAX in Wilmington, North Carolina. He had a passion as a former EMT. He had a passion for first responders. So you guys all have backgrounds. A lot of you had a life before real estate. That's a joke, right? So, but you had some kind of passion or career before real estate. Maybe you were a teacher. Maybe you were an EMT. Maybe you were just a homemaker, a mom. I don't know. But I'm just showing you examples to hopefully to get you think right here. So he decides to create the Wilmington, North Carolina's first responder only real estate program. How many, quote, first responders are in your average city or town? Enough to feed you? I think so, right? Let's keep going here. Here's Nick and Karen. Give you one guess what they specialize in, what they're passionate about. Do you think it's first-time buyers looking for condos? No, they are passionate about people looking for country estates and horse properties. By the way, can these properties be difficult to find? Yeah. Are there certain property requirements they have? People who have equestrian lifestyles? Yeah, they need acreage, they need the garages and this and that and whatever else, right? They've chosen to say, hey, here's what we love as a couple. We love the equestrian life, and that's who we're going to serve. Now, does this mean if they get a listing call that says, hey, Nick and Karen, I've seen your stuff all over town about equestrian. I don't have a horse property, but I do happen to have this single family resident. Do you guys do that too? How many of you have had that happen, right? What are they going to do? They could either say, no, we don't, but here's who does. Some agents choose that, or they might very well say, yes, we actually do those properties as well. Okay. But the key point is they've shown up for somebody specifically, so they've been able to rise above the noise. Another example, Agent Hero, trust the real estate veterans. This is a real estate brokerage exclusively serving veteran military families. And you can see their tagline says, we're a community of real estate agents that have lived the military life. We stand ready to provide buyers and sellers a better real estate experience. So by the way, in most towns, there's probably a military community, right? Some much more than others. But the point is, do you think anybody who's lived the military life, does this speak to them? Remember what I said earlier in the agent lineup? Well, same as lame. If I'm a veteran, or I've got family members are veterans or whatever, and there's a personal emotional connection to that, and I see this agent's ad versus the, now's a great time to sell, right? Who do you think will connect with more? The one who, remember, said, I'm special, I have special needs, right? This is all about me. We all know, you and I as agents, we know behind the scenes, things are the same. It's a transaction, but that's not the point. The point is getting them to the dance. All right, so step one is to become known. Step two is get clear on the problems you solve for people. Articulate them, highlight them. Step three is you need an engagement engine. What do I mean by that? I mean, your clients, your sphere of influence, your community needs to see you, know you, and learn from you. This is the big picture of trust that we started out with, right? Building that awareness, building that trust, solving problems. Let's break this down a little bit. Get clear on your target market. So from some of the examples I've talked to you about here today, from hopefully some of the thinking you've been doing, and then after the fact, as you go back to these slides, you're going to get clear on who you're passionate about, whether it's the location, the geo type of property, the people, the problems you like to solve, right? And by the way, people get paid richly for taking on problems, don't they? Like, it's rare that I've seen realtors, it's picked up a little bit more recently, but the divorce niche is one that is some people shy away from. And you may choose to do that. That's fine and well, but for your own reasons. But the point is this, that is a underserved niche that comes with it, quote, problems. But when you're solving problems for people, there's less price negotiation. There's less comparison. There's more he or she's for me. So you got to go through an exercise and get clear on some of the stuff we talked about. Who are you for? What problems do you solve? And where's your passion? Okay? So once you get clear on that, then you've got to decide, hey, where is the attention? Where is your target market? And I'll give you a classic example of where your target market is not, dare I ruffle some feathers, not on TikTok. This is not a TikTok class or an anti-TikTok route or rant or whatever, but I'm telling you that for most of you, your future clients are not on TikTok right now, unless you want to get them 10 years from now, okay? So where is the consumer attention? It is on social platforms. Let's not debate that. You're going to hear later from Michelle on Instagram and Karen on YouTube and Travis on Facebook. So you're going to go deep with those guys, right? You basically have the big four. You've got to decide where you're going to show up, where the consumer attention is. So you've got to choose one, maybe two. Now, it's a little bit easier perhaps to do Facebook and Instagram because they're so well integrated and owned by each other. Then, of course, you got YouTube. You're going to hear from Karen on the great stuff she's doing over there, okay? Now, for sake of time, I got to keep an eye on the clock. Anybody keep me honest if you need me to speed it up. But so you're going to get clear on the problems and all that kind of stuff. Then you're going to decide what's your go-to social platform. I will tell you, you cannot be everywhere and be great. I don't care what Gary Vee says, 100 pieces of content a day. Choose one, possibly two if it's Facebook and Instagram, and go all in, okay? Unless you have a team. Who's done that successfully? You're going to hear from her later today. I highly encourage you to be here for Karen Carr. She relocated her real estate business to Savannah, Georgia, knowing nobody, right? And created this brand on YouTube, which started with moving to Savannah. And when I interviewed her last year, 70% of her 27 transactions came exclusively from YouTube. You're going to hear from her more about that. That's zero lead ad or spending or anything like that. So you could go all in on a platform like YouTube if you're down with video. It's clearly there are people searching. By the way, are there people moving to your area? That's one of those obvious questions, right? Of course they are. I moved to Vegas.
California.
Yeah, they're all leaving California, right? Just like I did 2 years ago. So yeah, you got people moving from the Bay Area and all these other color, and I'm trying to move up there as well. We'll see. But anyway, so that could be one thing you answer. You could also choose to be the local community expert. Have you heard the concept of digital mayor? Okay. The digital mayor, which is it's the hub and spoke model, right? So you're the hub of all happenings, of all good things that are going on in the community. Because who knows the mayor usually? Everybody, right? That's what you want to be known as a real estate agent. Here's my friend Jason Ferris. Anybody been to Fresno, California? Right. How about Fres? Yes. Okay. That's what Jason decided to do. Real estate agent, brokerage owner up there, wanted to change the narrative about Fresno. It's got some history. So he creates fresyes.com. And as a real estate brokerage. And by the way, so you have two shots here. It might be hard to see. You'll get the slides. But here's his Facebook page, which has over 26,000 people that follow it. Fresno ain't that big, okay? And then here's his blog, which is neighborhood information, community calendar. They got guest posts, what's happening this weekend, vineyards. He goes around town and interviews local business owners. So this is the concept of digital mayor. Now, you may have heard of Gary Vee talk about this, which is in today's world, as I said earlier, modern communication tools, think about yourself as a media brand and real estate is your back end. Okay? Because the whole purpose of being on social, using media is to engage, attract, and build your reputation so people choose you. You just got to get clear on which one and which path you're going to choose. Here's my buddy Alex Wang up in the Bay Area, top producer up there. When I interviewed Alex, this was last year, 50 some odd transactions for 85 million. 50% of it came from his exposure and engagement with people on social media, online content. Now, if you weren't here at the beginning, I started out and I said, this is for you if one of the slides said you're willing to put in the work. Because this doesn't happen by showing up once and then 2 weeks later getting on Facebook or not having a Facebook business page or not investing, right? Your time, effort. It takes time to build a personal brand. Okay? But this is why I'm showing you examples, so you'll see the payoff. Now, how do you get attention in the war of attention, right? You could also leverage a unique style or viewpoint that you have. Exploit your uniqueness in the service of others. Here's an agent that in LA area does this, Joanne Littman on Instagram. She decided to embrace her uniqueness with her purple hair highlights. And when she got into real estate, somebody had asked her, well, Joanne, aren't you going to change your hair color? She says, no, I'm not. This is me. And if somebody doesn't choose me because I like purple highlights, then they're not my client. They're not my vibe, right? So on Instagram, you can go follow her. She brands herself as a kick-ass realtor. Okay? She has photos of what's called escrow shoes. Every time she opens a new escrow, she buys a new pair of shoes. Ladies, we like that? Okay? She's being herself on Instagram, and this is going back a year when I talked to her, 21 referrals, 6 closings. Purely organic, by showing up, engaging, being present, showing her knowledge, solving problems for people, okay? So that's Instagram. You're seeing a bunch of different examples here. Remember, here's the point. Here's what this is all about. What we're working towards is building relationship, right? Trust, connection. To do that, you have to have the presence. You have to show up and be present to help build your authority. How do we do this? With content marketing, right? So here's an example of, they quote, real estate sales funnel. Happen to grab this offline. These are the different mediums. We've talked about some of these. This is all content marketing. The point is this, is you need some type of a net to capture people. Social media can be that first place of engagement, but as you'll hear and see from our other speakers today, you can then get more structured with that and actually, maybe run some ads, do some lead capture, right? Have follow-up, have a CRM. Does anybody here have a CRM? I hope so. Excel, it's not a CRM, okay? But the point is this, is we need to lead people through the whole process here, right? And don't forget, as you're building out your online brand, your presence, that you collect online reviews, because look, that is how people also evaluate you. So if you've got 0 online reviews or 2, right? And the other, it's just very important. It's a critical part of your overall online personal brand strategy, because people trust those, okay? And I'm going to save some time here for questions, maybe give away another book or 2, but here's the bottom line is, be you, take your real estate hat off, just be a human being. Connect with people, solve problems, and get clear on who you serve, who you're for, and then decide that 1 or 2 platforms that you're going to go all in on. And remember, the most human brand wins. Okay. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Katie. And once again, if you do want to get a copy of the book, getdisruptordiet.com. Go check it out there. Hope you guys like it. I'll take a few questions if we have time.
Thank you. Amir, do you want to take it over?
I am, I mean, my hand hurts, so I'm glad you stopped talking because I've taken so many pages of notes. And all of it is absolutely straight truth. So Geoff, I can't thank you enough for all the knowledge that you've dropped on us today. Are there questions in the chat there, Katie?
We do have one question. So real quickly, Geoff, Janice asks, quality or quantity? What would you say is more important?
Quality. I assume what she's talking about there is posting content online.
Yep.
So 100% quality, because, it's funny, there was a question, and I was sitting in the audience when Gary Vaynerchuk answered this question, which I disagree with his answer. And I spent a lot of time, looking at different, following different marketing quote gurus or whatever. So the question he was asked was, can you put out too much content? His answer was no. I disagree. I believe that, first of all, we can easily reach content overload. And if you're putting out crappy content, that isn't relevant or valuable or serves, right, the end user, you're going to turn them off and you're going to become unfollowed or tuned out. So I wouldn't get so worried about posting, do I have to post every single day? Depends where you're at in that. Depends if you have a team and so forth. It depends where you're just getting started. I would say, if you can post 3 to 5 times a week minimum, 100%. So yes, quality way over quantity.
It's interesting that you say that. One of the things that I wrote as you were speaking is that reputation precedes sales.
Mm-hmm.
If you're posting crap, you're going to be known as the person that posts crap.
There you go.
That's where I think your answer of quality makes sense. Now, I think Gary's point is one that even our last speaker, Karen Carr, spoke about on her YouTube channel, which mm-hmm. is doing the work, which is how you preface this at the beginning, is that we have to be willing to do the work, mm-hmm. right? And that work is making sure that what we put out there is reflective of who we are.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great point. And so that's why it's important to get clear on, as we said at the beginning, like who are you for? Or do you love first time home buyers, or do you love the empty nesters, the move ups, the whatever? Maybe divorce is your specialty, right? Because you love helping people. Maybe I've worked with agents that have personally gone through divorce, and that's why they're passionate about it. So yeah, first and foremost, get clear on who you serve. And don't try.
Here's another question.
Go ahead.
Do you suggest that agents post on their own personal social media or create a page or a profile for that brand?
If you're talking about Facebook specifically, they need both. The old rule of thumb is like on your personal, it should be 80% personal and 20% business, because your personal is your friends, your family, all that kind of stuff, sphere of influence. They don't want to just get hit with like new listings and all that kind of stuff all the time. So it's about 20% business on your personal. Facebook, you're going to hear a lot about Facebook, obviously, from Travis, but you need a Facebook business page for sure, because that's kind of like your online yellow pages, if you will. How do I look you up? That's one of the ways people do that. But of course, you need a business page to run ads too.